So let's start talking about the microbiome. What exactly is a microbiome?
So the microbiome is bugs that live in your intestinal tract, in your stomach, and help you break down and digest your food. Now that's just a simplified version.
Okay, so your stomach has bacteria that is beneficial to you, and through years of eating processed foods, sugars, Diet Cokes, stuff like that, the good bacteria in your stomach is damaged over time that could lead to problems.
Modern medicine has done great things to keep us from dying of disease, but also done very bad things. And one of the things it's done very bad to is your microbiome. Taking antibiotics and the overuse of antibiotics has not only let the bugs that are bad for you take over your body, but also mutate to avoid being attacked by the antibiotics that we're taking. And the antibiotics that we're taking are not only killing the bad bugs, but they're killing the good bugs. So how do you replenish the good bugs so that you stay a healthy person?
And that can largely be done by diet, and it's something that you don't want to take medicine for because it'll just make it even worse. It'll compound the problem.
Let's focus a little bit on the damage of what goes on with taking antibiotics. So you get sick, and why do you get sick? It's because we're being attacked by all these pollutions in our water, in our air, but it's all part of the industrial age. We've got this luxurious life. Why? Because we're doing all these great things with all of these things that are poisoning our lives, right? We're not living in harmony with nature. And what we're doing is we're damaging our immune system enough so that we don't have our natural defenses to fight against these things. And with antibiotics, we were helping ourselves, but we're also hurting ourselves. And now we're just starting to see the effects of all those things. Look at all the people that are sick. Look at all the things that are going on. Us personally, we're not functioning at our highest level. And in order to avoid being sick, and in order to avoid dying from all these simple things like the common cold, we need to strengthen our immune system. And our microbiome helps you do that.
Sickness can affect you in a really negative way where you're put out of commission and you're in a hospital bed, but just stuff where you have brain fog and you're like, or you're depressed or you're just feeling off can affect you profoundly.
So you walk around thinking, what is wrong with me? I can't function. I can't think. I can't sleep. I don't feel good. I'm gaining weight. What's going on? And it's just not a natural way to live.
And some people thought that affecting the microbiome, the stomach gut bacteria, was kind of a fringe thing at first, but it's really picking up steam. There was an author named David Perlmutter that wrote a book about it and called the gut, the stomach bacteria, like the second brain. He felt that it was on par with the brain as far as being an important organ.
I don't think he's far off. I think maybe it's the most important, because how does the brain function without nutrition? How does the whole body?
I mean, because some people will say, well, I'll just eat these certain foods or whatever, and this will help me out, with the good nutrients. But unless your stomach bacteria is right, you can't absorb that. You can't take advantage of the good food. It doesn't matter what you're putting in your body.
That's an excellent point. You could be feeding yourself with all the best stuff in the world, but if you can't absorb it, what good is it? There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to know about it. One of the things you could do that's very inexpensive is just to fast, to let your body recuperate. Let your body can fix itself, and it can fix anything that's wrong with it.
What is the most basic fast a person can possibly do?
One of the fasts that I've taken part in for a week long is called the Master Fast. It's what I've done. And you need to follow the protocols very closely because you are releasing toxins into your system, but you need to also take things to absorb those and also release those from your body as quickly as possible so that you don't reabsorb those toxins. And that alone can help you dramatically. You'll see differences in just the way you think, just the way you feel. Your whole body feels better. Your body continuously is trying to digest food and overworking doing that. It never has time other than when you sleep, and we don't all get enough sleep to rebuild, regenerate, and fix itself. So if you go into a long-term fast, you're letting your body shut down and actually do a lot of repair. It could go from working 100% on digestion to go out and now fix all the things that are wrong. And really, you reap the benefits of that tremendously. And don't even be alarmed by going on a fast. You don't get dizzy. You don't feel weak. I was actually running, swimming, and biking during this week-long fast and felt no problems whatsoever. It felt great.
People did that throughout history naturally. They didn't always have food. When their people were hunter and gatherers, wasn't that long ago, they would go for periods of days without foods, and their bodies, the human body's built to adapt to that anyway. Something the body expects to happen. This whole idea of having a meal on demand in modern days is kind of unnatural.
Completely. You make a very valid point. This is all based, happened during the industrial age. We've got all these conveniences. We can go to fast food. We can have a refrigerator in our house. We don't have to go hunt. We don't have to go 10 miles to find something to eat and maybe not even find it for 2 or 3 days.
Your benefits from these fasts are substantial because you run triathlons, which are extremely demanding. I mean, if a person thinks that running a marathon is tough, imagine running a marathon and then swimming. How many miles do you swim?
2.4 miles. It's an Ironman distance triathlon. There are all different lengths of triathlon, but the one I do is the Ironman distance, which is not the longest one because there's double Ironman, but 2.4 miles of swimming, 112 miles of biking, and then you run a marathon, 26.2 miles. But I've benefited greatly from these things, so I think other people can too.
The what's it called? The Master Fast?
That's called the Master Fast. And I would just look it up online.
It's just a starting point to look up. Now, that might be a couple of days, but there's also fasting that we can just touch on briefly, is some people fast, they may do this once a week, just for starters, from the time they get up in the morning till about 5 in the afternoon, and then have their meals.
It's completely legitimate. There's also where you just have your normal meals during the week, and then one day of the week you do a 24-hour fast. There's all different types, and you got to find the one that works for you. And it's all beneficial for sure.
The bottom line is, if someone that is running 26 miles, biking 40 miles or whatever, or swimming over 2 miles is benefiting from this, imagine somebody that just has to go about their normal chores and is a little foggy, how much they will benefit.
Yeah, your mood is improved. It changes your perspective on eating. It's a way to just change your whole perspective. When people talk about biohacking, well, that's what fasting is. That's partly biohacking. You're changing the way your body functions. You're changing the way your mind thinks, and it's all for the better.